Hello students, welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to discuss about the multiplexer. Multiplexer, in short, we are calling it as MUX. So MUX is a logic circuit. So this logic circuit will accept many inputs and it allows only one of them to go to the output at a time. That is called as multiplexer. Okay, so multiplexer. In short, we are going to call it as MUX. So MUX is a logic circuit that is going to accept many inputs and it allows only one of these inputs to go to the output at a time. So this is also known as data selector. So now the thing is, which line is to be sent to the output? So for that, some control is required. Okay, so the routing of the desired data input, that means one of the data input is to be taken and that must be sent to the output. So which one to select? So that is controlled by the select lines. So thereby we can define multiplexer as a multiplexer. It will have 2 to the power of n inputs, n select lines and 1 output. Okay, so multiplexer, it has 2 to the power of n inputs, n select lines and 1 output. So this multiplexer, we are going to designate it as 2 to the power of n cross 1, or it is also known as 2 to the power of n to 1 mux. So that is how we are going to designate this multiplexer. So now let us start with the there are different types of, we can design the multiplexers. So first, let us see the simple one. So in this simple multiplexer, we'll have only 2 inputs. So that multiplexer, it is called as 2:1 mux. So it is 2:1 mux. So number of inputs over here is on the left side, whatever we have written, this will designate the input. So always multiplexer will have a single output. So out of these 2 inputs, one of the input will be selected and that will be sent to the output. So which one to select out of 2 inputs? So that is done by the select lines. So now in 2:1 mux, we have the number of inputs as 2 to the power of n is equal to 2. So we have the number of select lines as n is equal to 1. So this is the block diagram of 2:1 mux. So in this 2:1 mux, we have 2 inputs. So it is D0 and D1. So we have represented multiplexer by a block like this. So it will have select lines. So how many select lines are available for 2:1? It is only 1. So A, it is represented by A. We have 2 inputs, D0 and D1. So depending on the value on this select line, one of the input will be selected and that will be sent to the output. So here is the function, or this is the output. So this is how we represent the multiplexer. So now if we look at the logic diagram, then we'll come to know how this select line is going to work. So here we have 2 AND gates over here, right? There are 2 data inputs. So our data inputs, they are called as D0 and D1 and both are given to 1 AND gate over here. So in this AND gate, to this both the AND gates, we are giving the select lines. So select line, only one select line we have. So here in this, to the first AND gate, we have given A. So okay, through the NOT gate. Okay, so through NOT gate, that means what here? Here the output of this will be A bar. Okay, so this is A complement and that A complement is given to this AND gate. So it comes out of A. And here what happens for the next AND gate? We are giving the select line as it is. That is A, it is directly given over here. So in this case, what happens is one of the AND gates will be enabled. Okay, because we are giving a complement of A to one of the AND gates, that is to the first AND gate, and we give directly the select line to the second AND gate. So what happens is, when A is equal to 0, that time gate 1 will be enabled, and when A is 1, that time gate 2 will be enabled. See, for example, if we take the data like this, okay, so if we take the data like this, here if we are taking 1, okay, see, for example, we are taking it 1 over here, and our select line is 0, okay, so our select line is 0 and data is 1 over here. So now what happens is, when we give 0 over here, so the thing that is appearing over here, this will be 0. But here what happens? Here 1 will appear at the input. So both of them are ones. So thereby we are going to get 1 over here. But here what happens? Here it is 0. Okay. So then what happens? Whatever the data is there, that will come over here, and F we are going to get it as 1. Okay. So that means this particular data, whatever we have, that is going to be appeared at the output. This is how we can show the working of a multiplexer. See here, that is being written over here. When A is 0, okay, AND gate 1 is enabled. Here this AND gate will be enabled, and therefore the output F will be equal to D0. See, F will be equal to D0 means, see, if you are given 0 over here, so we are getting 0 over here and we'll get 0. Otherwise, what happens is, if 1 is given over here, then obviously F we are going to get it as 1. Okay. So, and then when we take A is equal to 1, that time what happens? Our AND gate 2 will be enabled. So whatever data is available at D1, that will appear at F. This is how we can show the multiplexer, working of the multiplexer. Okay, now let us continue in order to see the functional table for 2:1 marks. So this is the functional table. So in this functional table, you could see that A is a select line and F is the output. So when A is 0, we are getting F as D0. When A is 1, we are getting D1 as output. So whether it is 0 or 1, whatever it is, we are going to get at the output. Okay, so this I have already shown how we can make use of this multiplexer. Okay, now let us move on in order to see the next multiplexer. So this one, first we have seen 2:1 marks. Now let us see 4:1 marks. So in 4:1 marks, you could see that there are 4 input lines. So 2 to the power of n, now it is 4. Okay, there are 4 input lines. So in order to select one of these 4 input lines, we require 2 select lines over here. Okay, so we have 2 to the power of n is equal to 4. Thereby the value of n is 2. So thereby we are getting the number of select lines as 2. Okay, so this is how we can show the multiplexer with the block diagram. So it is 4:1 marks. We have data inputs D0, D1, D2, D3. And we have 2 select lines A and B. We are getting F as output. So this becomes our logic diagram now. So in this logic diagram, you could see that we have a functional table as well as the logic diagram over here. So in this logic diagram, this is how internally multiplexer is designed. So we need 3 input AND gates over here. So to 3 input AND gates, so to one of the inputs to all these gates, it will be the data input that we give. So it is D0, D1, D2 and D3. Okay. So at any given instant of time, only one of these gates must be enabled. So in that way, we should give the select lines. So select lines, they are given like this. We have A, this is called as the most significant bit. Okay, so here we have the functional table, which is with 2 bits. As you all know, we'll get 4 different combinations. So we have 0011, 0101. So for D naught, what we need to have to give? 0, 0. That means A is 0, B is also 0. That means what? We need to have to connect A complement over here. Okay, so that is how we give the input. Okay, now I'll show you how it is done. So first one, it is A for D naught. Okay, so in order to get D naught, A is 0 and B is 0. That means what? Here we have the input A and it is passed through the NOT gate. So when it is passed through the NOT gate, obviously we know that it is A complement that we are going to get. That means A, B, whenever we are getting zeros over here, we need to have to take the connections from over here. So it is first D naught, we need to have to connect to this A naught, A complement. So here A complement is being connected. For B also it is complement because it is also 0 over here. Since it is also 0, so B complement. So take B complement and connect it to the first AND gate. So the connections for D naught is over. Okay, now first, next we shall go move on to the D1. D1 we have 0, 1. Okay, 0 means we need to have to take from A complement. So for D1, you take A complement and B you observe B. B it is directly connected over here. So functional table and logic diagram, they should go hand in hand. Then only you can understand it. So functional, according to the functional table, you need to have to make the logic diagram. So here for D naught, we have A and B as 0. So take the tappings from A complement and B complement. For D1, take tappings from A complement and B. So that is how the gate 2 is being connected. So here it is A bar and here it is B. Okay, so next for D2, for the line D2, 1, 0 is to be connected. 1, 0 means from A we need to have to take. Okay, so because A is 1 and B is 0, so you must take it from B complement. So we are getting D2. And what about D3? It is 1, 1. So you take from A as well as from B. This is how we need to have to finish the logic diagram. Now we need to have to write the logic expression. So in order to write the logic expression, you look at the functional table and it can be written. So in the functional table, you could see that A and B in the first row, they are zeros. So we must take A complement. Wherever 0 is there, take complement. So it is A complement, B complement and D naught. Look at what are the inputs that are given over here to the first AND gate. They are all the inputs given to the first AND gate. So it is D naught, A complement, B complement. So that is being written over here. So why these plus signs are appearing over here is because of this OR gate. Okay, so plus, and look at the inputs for the second AND gate. We have D1, and what about the A and B? It is A complement into B. So A complement into B is what? This is second row. So A is 0, thereby we have taken A complement, B and D1. So similarly, write it for D2. D2 can be written as AB bar D2 and D3, it is AB into D3. So this is the logic expression. So you could observe that over here also, one of the AND gates will be enabled at any given instant of time and the data that is available in that particular line will appear at the output. Okay, this is what is the multiplexer is. Okay, now let us move on to the next multiplexer. It is 8:1 marks. So in order to have 8:1 marks, we know that from the question itself, we could see that there are 8 inputs. So with 8 inputs, in order to select one of the 8 inputs, how many select lines are required for us? Obviously, it is 3 select lines are required. So in this, you make sure that always we are going to represent A, B, C in this order we are going to represent. Always A becomes the most significant bit. Okay, so this is very important that you need to have to look into it that A is most significant bit and C is least significant bit. So we have 8:1 marks over here. So there are 8 inputs. So it starts from D0 to D7. So in order to select one of these, we want 3 select lines over here. A, B, C are the select lines. So wherein A is the most significant bit and C is the least significant bit, we have one output over here. So for a multiplexer, always we'll have only one output. It is called as data selector. So one of the data will be selected and whatever is the data available, it will send it to the output. Okay, so now let us move on in order to see the logic diagram for it. So for logic diagram, okay, so this is the logic diagram for it. So in this logic diagram, you could see that this is the logic diagram for 8:1 marks. So for 8:1 marks, we require how many gates we want? We want 8 AND gates. So here are the 8 AND gates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one of the inputs, it must be the data line that we are giving. So it is D0, D1, D2, D3 like this. We need to have 4 input AND gates over here because there are 3 select lines. So one of the select line has to come over here from A, B and as well as C. And one data line will be available. So how I explained it for 4:1 marks, so that we have extended it to 8:1 marks. That's all. So in the same manner, we need to have to make the connections. So here we have the functional table. So in the functional table, one of the rows I'm going to explain. So functional table, we have A, B, C. First, write down the binary table. So you know already how to write the binary table because I have already explained you how to write the binary table. So in this, A becomes most significant bit and C is the least significant bit. So our least significant bit is going to change very frequently compared to the most significant bit. So in order to write down the inputs for the AND gate 1, okay, so this is AND gate 1 wherein we have given the data as D0. So for that, how we need to have to connect the select lines, that is very important. So in order to connect the select lines, all our select lines are 0, 0, 0 over here. So 0, 0, 0 means we are supposed to connect A complement, B complement and C complement to the first AND gate. So that is how it is being connected. You could observe that here we have the input A. When it is passed through the NOT gate, we will get A complement over here. This particular line is B complement and this particular line is C complement. One more thing is, in the logic circuits, if the lines are overlapping like this, it is not that there is a connection over there unless you write these small dots over there. So wherever you write these small dots, from that point the tapping is being taken. That is what is the meaning in the logic circuit. So thereby, if the lines have been overlapping over here, see for example, you could see that few lines they have been overlapping over here. So there is an overlapping. So when you write like this, there will not be any connection over there, but just they're overlapping, that's it. So wherever you have written the dark dots, that represents connection is being taken from that particular point. So I could show you this one. This is a connection that is taken. Here also the connection that is being taken. Here also the connection that is being taken. So now let us see the input to our first AND gate. So in order to see the input to the first AND gate, it is D0, one of the data line that is given, and from the functional table we saw that it is A complement because all are zeros over there. That is A, B, C, all three are zeros. So we must take the tapping from A complement, B complement and C complement. You could see that this particular line is A complement. Okay. So A complement, it goes to the first AND gate, and this particular line is B complement. So this B complement, it goes to the first AND gate. Here is C complement. So that C complement goes to the first AND gate. Right. So this is how the rest of the connections are made for all the AND gates, and outputs of AND gates, they go to the OR gate and we'll get the function. Okay, so now from the functional table itself, we could write the logic expression. So for the first row, how we are going to get for the first row, you could see that for the first row. Okay, see, for the first row, we'll get 0, 0, 0. So it is A complement into D naught plus. For the second row, it is 0, 0, 1. Alright. So 0, 0 means A complement, B complement and C. Because it is C is 1 over here. And we'll get D1 plus. One more I will show. It is 0, 1, 0. So in order to write 0, 1, 0, it is A complement, B, C complement. So it is A complement, B, C complement into D2. So in this manner, we are going to write the logic expression by looking at the functional table. So in this multiplexer, as you all see, we have multiple inputs. We'll get a single output. And you must note that there is no change in the data that we are going to get. Whatever the data is available in the data lines, so that particular data will be put on to the output line. So which line to select, so that is taken care by the select lines. Okay, so it is also known as data selector. Okay, so these are the applications of the multiplexer. Multiplexer, it is used in the Boolean function implementation. So 2 to the power of n is to 1 marks. So it is generally used to implement the Boolean function which is having n variables. So it is used in communication system. So in order to carry out the process of data transmission, we use multiplexer, and it is also used in telephone network. So why it is used in telephone network is in order to integrate the multiple audio signals onto a single line, and this single line is used for transmission. Okay, so it is also used in computer memory. So in order to decrease the number of copper lines that are necessary in order to connect the memory to other parts of the computer. So for that, we use multiplexer. So it is also used in our systems in arithmetic logic unit. There also we are going to use this multiplexer. So these are the applications of multiplexer. Thank you, students.